Hey everybody. How are you all today? Okay. So, looking back on what all I built, what was it, last Thursday, I think? Or actually, it may have been last Wednesday. Wow, it's been a week almost. There's a bit more I should and could add to this. But it's not looking too bad, all honesty. You got a question about my hardcore? What's the perimeter of the square hole? I forget. It was 200? I want to say. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was. It wasn't anything that impressive. Relatively easy to make. Yeah. Somewhere, something like that. 14 versus 15. So this is the 15th. Okay. Just trying to think of what sort of imprint I want to put on this middle part. So yeah, it's I'm doing okay. I'm kind of tired today, Gontira. Not gonna lie, I had a very busy day today. My mind is probably not going to be like super here like I would like for it to be, but no. I will try my best. Hey, Jose. Yeah, the TNT machine perimeter. Yeah, I know what you meant. It was a good 150, I want to say. If memory serves, I could like try to actually maybe at 128. I don't remember fully. It never really like was something that I cared that much about. I just wanted some amount of perimeter, some amount of open area to build in. So I did. So replace quartz with obsidian. There we go. Yeah, I like that. It's starting to look good. Okay. I still kind of want to put like some sort of lighting in that, but I don't know. 13 at 30. Okay, so that's the exact halfway point. Cool. You're a PvPer. Aha. Well, enjoy PvPing, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a PvPer, so I don't really care. Not gonna lie, that is not something I find entertaining or enjoyable. If I had to fight someone because I had to fight them, that'd be one thing, but like doing that for fun, I don't know. How do you do PvP for fun? You just like enjoy killing people? Isn't that barbaric? I don't know. Am I 2B2T Jack? Yes, I am, Darkwish. The one, the only Jack the Ripper. Jack the motherfucking Ripper. I nearly forgot that part. I was Jack the Ripper for years before. And I've been Jack the Ripper ever since, so I figure I may as well keep the name, you know? What is most important to me, the size of the build or the details? Both. there's no reason that both are not and should not be important. It's 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, So from here to here is 13. So that's what, 6? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ah. There we go. Yeah, that's more along the lines of where it should be. You know, I'm actually kind of tempted to use beacons as like a sort of pseudo window. Ah, actually. Yeah, like that. Okay, yeah, I like that. That'll work. Just because it's a convenient... You can kind of look out through it or look in through it. But at the same time, it's just like a lamp. So, I don't know. It serves two purposes, kind of. Very weird. But as for like size versus detail... there's a balance. You can strike a certain balance with detail as well as with size. So long as whatever you're doing feels right, if that makes sense, you can pretty well make anything good. No matter how big or how small it is, it just has to feel like it has a continuity with whatever you're doing. So big for big's sake is kind of silly unless you have the detail know-how to make it feel like its bigness is not a detraction. Because something can be big in Minecraft and that detract from it. Something too big it'll be an albatross around the build's neck, you know? You don't want it to be so big that it doesn't make sense that it is so big, you know? If you can somehow keep that balance, then I think you'll be fine. You'll find your footing and your build will be all right. That's the basic idea. How did I get so good at building it? Is this on 2B2T? Yes, Mike, this is on 2B2T, as you well know. As I've explained to you specifically 1 billion times, this is on 2B2T. I have an exploit that has given me creative mode, and I have, found a way to trick Pop Bob and Housemaster into giving me everything, including players' private data. So, I know where you all live now, and I can go to your houses and build Space Valk replicas there too. Your house is on 2B2T, not in real life. I wouldn't dare go to your house in real life. But you know how it is, Mike. I appreciate the I appreciate the sarcasm from the peanut gallery. Mike is a breath of fresh, putrid air. He's one of those types that you grow to love, hating. But anyway, why did I stop playing on 2B2T? It stopped being fun. 2B2T is just a shell of its former self, man. It's not worth playing on. It's not worth spending the time or the money on. I would just rather do something else. I would rather play in... Oh, fuck. That's a block too high. No. Anyway, I would rather just play in single player. This shit needs to all be down here. Leave it to Mike to ask the stupid questions in everybody's stead. I'm glad you can ask such stupid questions, Mike. I'm glad you can bring them up every stream and make everybody remember why I don't like answering them. I gotta move all this down one block. It's off kilter. I'm sorry, the pattern has to be maintained. I'm a bit of a perfectionist in that regard. Do I check Space Valkyrie for any mistakes? Oh, of course. Of course. I mean, I just checked it for a mistake then. This one's a bit loud, jeez. Any sort of inconsistency, if I find it, I have to correct it. There's no letting a problem like that run free. You're just asking because they think it's funny to mock those who ask that question. Yeah, well, I mean, most of those people asking that question or those questions haven't been here. They just genuinely don't know. I try to not hold that against them. Because they've not been here. When I had that big boom in viewership, oh yeah. Yeah, that was something. Okay. You enjoy PvP when you play Bed Wars and competitive games with friends. You love building. Okay. Well, as long as you enjoy it, that's really all that matters. Don't let my silly, dumb-ass opinion mean anything to you. I'm just me at the end of the day. I can only really enjoy the things that I enjoy, you know? I have trouble understanding how people enjoy things that are just so antithetical to what I believe or what I feel. But I think a lot of people are like that. You hear about somebody's weird taste in this or that, and you go, how the hell do you stand it? Whoa, 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 whoa. I've messed up somewhere. Ah, that's where. Yeah, see, like just now, I found this little problem, and I got to correct it, because if not, I won't be able to live with myself. Oh, whoops. That's supposed to be there. And then every other, like a soul. And that should get it. How did I come up with the Space Valkyria? I don't know if I answered that already. I kind of have, but I guess I haven't, like, in as many words explained it. The original Space Valkyria was it was just going to be a giant end base that a bunch of my friends from the original Valkyria, we were all going to go there and hang out. I built a bunch of resource farms to aid in that endeavor. And that was it. That was all it was. There were supposed to be other people's builds out there, but they all sucked at not dying. And so it never really came to pass. Other people basically gave up on it, trying to just not die. And then we got found like less than 2 months later. So we didn't even get a whole lot of time to really mess around at Space Valkyria. And so it just kind of became a, oh well, kind of thing. The only thing that got really done was the central pillar. What I had called at the time the sky pillar. I just wanted it to, I wanted it to be a cool secret base for just the people from Valkyria. And it just never quite took off that way. Much to my chagrin. I was kind of miffed that we got found so easily. And to this day, I still haven't completed all of what was at Space Valk 1. I still haven't, like, actually gotten it, like, done. You know, it's still incomplete, even to this day. And, yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, maybe someday I'll get around to tinkering with it and fixing it. Whoops. Hit the perspective key. And I would love to finish Space Valk 1. I'd love to finish it in survival mode, but, like... Oh. I don't know. Finishing in survival mode is not realistic. I'm basically doing the same thing in hardcore right now. And it just doesn't feel like it would be the same, you know? If I did do it in survival mode, or mostly survival mode. I'm just kind of like on the fence about that. I'm not entirely certain if Space Valk 1 will ever be truly finished. At least not without... I don't know, maybe I'll just do it in creative mode like I'm doing this. I mean, I don't really have any problem with that. So who knows? Stick around long enough and I might get around to it. I imagine the original Space Valkyria wouldn't be too much more trouble than this place. Funny enough, I actually do have a copy of the original Space Valk 1 on this world in the overworld. Not in the end, in the overworld. I've got it there as a sort of a reminder to finish it. Or to do something with it. No idea if I will or won't, though. Oh shit, I missed a spot. Fuck. Here we go. Hey, Daily Dose of Roses, how are you? Wasn't Space Valk 1 small? Yeah, compared to this, it is a very, very tiny base. It's actually quite funny that it's more well known, but took way less time, and is just like half as good in my opinion. I was not that satisfied with Space Valk 1 toward the end. I wasn't finished with it, so maybe I would have become more satisfied with it as I finished, but like, it's just something about Space Valk 1. I wasn't done with it, you know? So I gotta wonder, would it have mattered? I don't know. So hey, we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, so before I copy this, let's put that there. Do I ever get bored with big base ideas while building them? You feel like they take a massive amount of dedication. I do on occasion get bored, but I also feel like I've gotten to the point where I can, I don't know, the creative juices can like flow with Space Valk 3, and so I just do this. I've got the inspiration, I've got the I don't know, I've got the the power. I can do it. I can make this place amazing. This is my magnum opus, and I'll see it done come hell or high water. I'm not going to give up on it or quit or only go halfway or anything of that nature. This place is going to be fucking amazing. Wait a sec. Oh. Thought something was off. There we go. I'm trying to refine this cylinder shape and get some more detail on it. I'll worry about the internals later. Not that I don't want to do any internal bits, just that I feel for now getting a good external portion's probably more important. There we go. I think it was way smaller than Valkyria. Yeah, it was, I think the topmost disc was only like 128. It wasn't even 200 by 200 or anything like that. I didn't want to go too large because I didn't want us to be visible from the mainland back then. Because I knew that anyone going out far enough into the void would see things, like the shadow of Space Valk 1. Yes, Space Valk 1 would cast a very large shadow. I don't have depth fog on, but just imagine a sort of cloudy, dark impression against the end background, and that would tip people off that that's something's out there. Go investigate. And that would, of course, lead people to where we are, and that would be a big problem. So I figured the smartest approach would be to minimize my footprint as much as possible. So I didn't make the big jungle disc, the area that would become that jungle. I didn't make that as big as I probably could have. And in a lot of ways, I'm really glad I didn't, because it gave me plenty of room. But it wasn't like an overwhelmingly large project. At least in my opinion, it wasn't. Oh shit. I got to fix this. My inscribed pattern got ruined on accident. No big deal. Imagine if Valkyrie wasn't blown up and continued as a legend. I would definitely have reached probably the end of my ability to build on it on 2B2T, because I would have needed more items eventually. And I definitely would have had a problem with the various exploits that would come about. Because there's just so many of them. Oh shit, there's no end to the internal area. Let's try to find the exact middle. Cool. Cylinder of air. What was this, 30? Let's go 29. Too large. Undo. So that's what, 20, that's 40. So let's just do 39. Or no, 29 was too bad. 19. There we go. Perfect. Nope. Undo. 29. Nope, still too much. What have we got? What, 27? Nope, 28. There we go. Cool. Okay. So I feel like it's getting there, but it needs some more detail, some more character. I should play Genius Artist Sim again. You really enjoyed those. Okay. I might consider it. I didn't feel like that got too much traction. Like you guys want to see me play something Minecraft related. Oftentimes. But then again, Genius Artist Simulator wasn't too bad. Yeah, at some point in the future, I'll probably replay that game. The problem was how hard it was to control what you did and how obtuse the paint was. That was kind of like... I don't know. Hopefully that's kind of been fixed. No guarantees, of course. I've already got an idea for my next Freeform Friday game once I'm done with Shadowrun. So we'll see. I might play some Genius Artist Simulator again at some point. I feel like I have to paint something 2B2T related when I play that game on stream. So I don't know. Jack, did I look into your game suggestion? What was that game again? It didn't really strike me as something that interesting, I hate to say. I'm not sure I want to play it. I know you said it's a newer game that's coming out, or something to that effect. It's like almost out or something. Final Earth 2, that was it, yeah. I don't know, I'm not... I just don't know, man. Man, that one painting game reminds you of the time Jared just showed up and had a normal conversation. Yeah, that was definitely weird. But hey, it goes to show even Jared could have ordinary, normal days where shit didn't hit the fan. Life was, for the most part, okay. Even if it was only, like, temporarily okay. Even Jared could be cool. What is the oldest video game that I own? It could be PC, console, or Nintendo. Probably Zelda Link's Awakening and Pokemon Blue. I got those two games in the same Christmas. And that was in what, 90 something. It was in the late 90s, I remember that. It was on the original Game Boy Color. Those would technically be the oldest ones that I own still. Because I had a Super Nintendo that I sold off as a kid. Very foolish. I really wish I hadn't done that. But I've got some old original N64 hardware from when the N64 launched. I've got some GameCube stuff. I got the N64 stuff in the 2000s. Early 2000s. I'm struggling to think of anything that's even older than that. I had an old Super Nintendo and a Nintendo Entertainment System that I had originally gotten from my cousin, or no, from my uncle and my cousins respectively. And we sold those things off years ago. I don't know that any of those, that hardware would still work if I had kept it. Because especially things like save batteries and stuff, those items die very, 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 well, not that quickly, but they die over time. And it's a thing, you know. Some of that stuff is still good, some of it not. I don't know. I wouldn't mind playing like the original Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy on the original hardware. I would not mind. But we'll have to see. Okay. I'm just gonna have to put a thing on the inside here to help bridge the gap. Because these little holes here, I can't stand those. I've got to fill those in. They've got to look like something. Instead of just being an open, gaping hole. Like your mom. Teehee. Jack, you're so funny. Oh. It does look pleasing on the eyes, but it's fun, yeah. Oh damn, I'm gonna have to fill in those bits too. You can see right in there. Oh yeah, and that reminds me, speaking of games getting a bit of a facelift, Metroid Dread recently got a boss rush and a super hard mode. Like a one hit you die hard mode. And I thought about doing another Dread speedrun. Just to like see if I can do it, you know. I doubt I can beat the game without, oh my god, a ton of luck. I could barely beat that game on veteran mode, let alone. Yeah, I don't know. But I definitely want to like give it a shot, so I don't know. What's the first thing I did on the internet that I remember? Oh god. I remember way back in like the like 2000, 2001, 2002. I was in middle school. Elementary school and then middle school at about that time. And I remember there being a computer lab, and we would specifically go to the computer lab, and we would only do exercises and like internet literacy and just how to use search engines and shit like that. Oh hey Osmobite, how you been, man? Thank you for the donation. I'm still like, I don't know what to think when you donate, man. But thank you so much. You don't have to do that. But yeah, we did a bunch of like, this was really, really jank shit. Who remembers Netscape? Yeah, we used to use Netscape Explorer on iMac. Because I don't know, that was the only thing we had, I think. That's what the school got paid to use? I don't know. And we just learned how to use search engines. Mind you, this is before Google. So it was actually more involved than you might think. And I routinely got lost and didn't know what the hell we were doing half the time. Because like some web pages were very poorly designed back then. Because there was like no standardization of how web pages should look. At that point, this is like 2001, 2000, 2002. And so like everything is just garbage. I don't remember the internet really defining anything or having a bit of an identity until 2006. And that's when I really started browsing the internet hardcore. I was in, I want to say I was a sophomore in high school. I just moved schools. And I found a guy who was like as nerdy as I was at that time. And we were obviously both into anime and we talked about all sorts of shit. Had fun. And then he mentioned a website that I'll never forget. One that forever changed my life. 4chan. And it's through him that Christmas, 2006 going on 2007, that was the year I discovered 4chan. And let me tell you, oh my god, what a renaissance that was. I can't imagine not knowing anything about 4chan. Like, the crazy things that 4chan taught me, both the good and the bad and the ugly. Oh my god. 4chan, it was like, there's my life before 4chan and my life after. And the two are not even remotely comparable. Because, especially because of like 2B2T, because I would never have learned about 2B2T when I did, if not for 4chan. And like just a bunch of stuff about myself that changed when I learned and found 4chan. It changed me for the better. Not for the worse, but for the better. Like, I would not be half the person that I am today, and you guys would not care. You wouldn't know me. You wouldn't want to know me. Like, 4chan gave me access to a level of thinking and exposure to things that, while, yeah, some people would view them as bad, it definitely gave me a level of eventually what would develop into introspection that I'd never would have had otherwise. I would not at all be who I am today. And I have that, like, I'm happy. I'm very, very happy that I discovered 4chan. I can't imagine what my life would be like if that hadn't happened. I don't want to think about it. I just don't. That'd be like not meeting... Oh, fuck. That would be like not meeting the love of your life. You know? Like, somehow going through life without ever finding your calling in life, you know? That's the level of import that 4chan had to me. It's fallen out of favor lately because 4chan has largely become irrelevant. But that was entirely voluntary. I get the feeling 4chan fell out of relevance simply because the people on it couldn't really figure out what they wanted to be or how they wanted to be. But regardless, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, 4chan, the early internet, at the heyday of the internet, like, that was something. That was a time that we will never get back. That is a world that is forever gone. And it's a real shame, because that's an internet that I long for. I wish we could go back to that internet so badly. Because it was not only the Wild West, and there was not only, like, a lot of stuff going on that you would... Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on that people would frown upon and people would be very upset at if it were allowed to go on. But, like, there's just a degree of difference. I just... You had to have been there. You had to have been there. No amount of descriptions on my part is really going to make it make sense. Like, some eras of the world, they pass away in the blink of an eye, and you never get them back. You may be lucky enough to experience them, but you never get them back. When they go away, they're gone for good. And likewise, there will be new eras made that will be wild and crazy. Like with 2B2T. A lot of you guys missed 2B2T. You missed how it was in its craziest beginning days. And I hate to say this, but that 2B2T will never return. You will never see those days ever again, and neither will I. But I think it's okay. I think it'll be alright. Because we'll get different days, a different era. It'll be different for different people. There's no telling when it'll happen, obviously. But I think there's value in that. There's value in the fact that some things are not meant to last, but that's okay. You learn to cherish them while you still have them. And if not, well, if you don't learn to cherish them, you will eventually. I know I have. I know I've learned to cherish all the crazy, interesting things that have happened in my life, but that I know I'll never get back. Like, part of the reason why I chose Shadowrun as my Freeform Friday game that I wanted to play was that it was nostalgic to me. Extremely nostalgic. But that... I know that that's not something like the feelings that I had when I first played that game. The experiences that I had, where I was in my life, my mindset, you know, all of that. Like, I can never have those things again. That will never be the way the world works ever again. But I'm alright with that. Would I give anything to go back to it? Probably not. But I don't know. Maybe I would give something... Oh, fuck. Redo. Ah, that's what messed up. Okay, so I didn't position myself properly. But anyway. So yeah, like... There are some things that, you know, I would love to relive and to see again. But, like, maybe to a degree, them being gone is better in the long run. Because I wouldn't have cherished, for example, to go back to what I said, that first time I played Shadowrun as a little kid. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But that didn't matter to me. You know, I enjoyed exploring and screwing around, losing, starting over, figuring out where the hell I was, what I was doing, etc. Piecing together the story bit by bit. As I became slightly more competent year after year, I got a little smarter as I grew older. A little bit more inquisitive. I was more patient as time went on. And like, I can never get that back, that slow growth, because I'm so far beyond where I used to be as a kid. You know, everybody is. You're never the same as you were yesterday. You're never going to be the same as you were 2 days ago or 10 years ago. You'll be better than that, I hope. And that maybe someday you can appreciate the fact that you'll never be that way again, but that maybe deep down you'll have a bit of a yearning to return to that time, but that for the best, maybe not being able to return to that time is better. We keep the pang of nostalgia in our heart despite the fact that we can't ever get it again, but that it helps the thing we can't get to be more meaningful. Because if you could get it again, if I could go back to that time when I first played Shadowrun, or when I first booted up Minecraft, or whatever, would it be valuable? Would it be meaningful? Would I care? Some of you probably remember playing Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. For whatever reason, that game is extremely nostalgic to a lot of Zoomers. If you could go back in time and recapture the feeling of when you first booted up that game, you probably would. But after a while, would it mean anything? Would it matter to you? I think the value in it, of what it offered to you, I think it would dilute the meaning. It would cheapen it. If you could just get it again, if you could just go back and have this thing again, I think it wouldn't mean as much. To go backward wouldn't really matter to you. If you could do it, it would just be whatever. Like breathing. You don't think about breathing, you don't care about breathing until you can't do it. Likewise, your ability to cherish your past, like there's something to that. Not having it is, or not being able to achieve it or attain it so easily, except in memory. There's something to that. So yeah. I'm not even really sure what brought that on or where I was even going with that, but hey, that's what you guys are here for, right? That useless blathering that I like to do from time to time. I'm sure somebody enjoys that. I don't know. Well, I know. I'm the somebody who enjoys doing it. I wouldn't do it, I guess, if I didn't. Now you're thinking you're going to look back on in 5 years. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's something that I often wonder about. Will I look back on the thing I'm doing currently in 5 years' time and go, damn, that's nostalgic. Damn, that's something I wish I could go back and do again. What mundane bullshit will I think of as nostalgic and something worthy of trying to recapture, or at the very least worthy of reminiscence? What's something that I'm doing right now in my daily life that I might want to? Who knows? Maybe nothing. Maybe none of it is worthy of that, and that I'm just dreaming. We'll have to see. Let's block with quartz pillar. I think I'll just go like that. Yeah, big stripes, just running all the way down. I like that look. Yeah, that's much more interesting to look at. It's funny to think the internet will ever have a sense of humor again. Yeah, it'll have a sense of humor again. It'll just be different from whatever it's been so far. And I hate to say this, Mike, but it will never be the same sense of humor as whatever you're hoping it will be. Like the 4chan sense of humor, the bullying, the trolling, the shit posting, like all of that, that's on its way out. It's like ironic random humor. And then eventually, I guess it's Generation Alpha or whatever, their humor will take over, and that will be the thing that drives the internet all of a sudden. So what will that humor look like? What will they think of as funny or interesting? I don't know. It's very, very, very hard to say, but also like intriguing, because I cannot count the number of millennials that I've run into who are all like, I don't get Zoomer humor. I don't understand how blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and that's exactly what the boomers said about us when we were the hit happening whatever. When we were the go-to demographic because everybody wants our attention, support, and love because the Zoomers were too young and the millennials were like just now of voting age or whatever. Yeah, nobody got millennial humor. But millennial humor was like the essence of memes. And the Zoomers took that and just iterated upon it. So it'll just be something different. Will the internet be funny again? Yeah. It just won't be funny in the way that you think it will be, or that you want it to be. I know that's probably not the question or the answer you were expecting, Mike. But like, it will be good again. Ah, fucking hell. I gotta stop trying to press the forward key. But yeah, like, it's just one of those things. You'll get there. Whoops. You'll get something out of it. But maybe it won't quite be to the degree that you used to get it. I don't know. Crappy internet humor was funnier on the internet. I don't know. I feel like crappy humor is crappy for a reason. There's no redeeming it just because it's crappy. You're just going to have to deal with it because it's crappy. So I don't know. Still happen to know the dude who introduced me to 4chan. No, he moved to like Alaska and got married. I completely lost track of him. We were in high school. He graduated about a year ahead of me because he was like super smart and he tested ahead. And when he graduated, we gradually lost contact, which I lost contact with everybody from high school over time. when we all graduated, my graduating class, some of us went to the same school. A lot of us dispersed and went to totally different schools. Some of us, we got to that new school and we stopped talking entirely. We gradually stopped talking in some cases, and that was the end of it. And then when we've all long since graduated and that was the end of it, I was gone. I was already working a job by that point, and I was like, well, bye. And yeah, that's just the nature of like childhood / school friendships. You will grow apart from those people, and you will do it with an extreme level of ease that you don't even expect. One day you'll go, and it'll be like 15 years later, and you'll be like, oh man, I can't believe I've been out of high school for 15 years. Hey, I wonder what old so-and-so is doing. You know, we were such good friends in high school. Where have they been? What have they been up to? Some people stay together. They manage to keep their friendship. They stay in contact. Some don't. Some are gone forever. They will never be in your life again. And that's just how it is. Maybe they chose that. Maybe they didn't. Sometimes it's an accident. Sometimes it's not. Just depends. And so, yeah, that guy who got me into 4chan, I don't even remember his name. Sad, isn't it? Like, I wish I could, but, like, so much life has happened in between then and now. I mean, that was, what, November-ish of 2006? So that's going on, like, what, 18 years almost? Or no, 24 would be 18 years. So that's what, 16 years? Yeah, that was 16 years ago. So like, no. I can't remember 99% of my classmates' names from back then. Except maybe one or two of them who I was much closer with. And that's only because we ended up all going to the same college afterward. And then that was it. So, yeah. It's just one of those things, you know? You just kind of get used to it. You grow accustomed to the idea of, well, maybe we won't all be in each other's lives one day. And the answer is, yeah, you probably won't. Them's the breaks. I feel like a lot of people will be staying in contact for a while because of social media. Well, see, that's the thing. Social media began when I was in high school. That was Facebook and MySpace, for those of you who remember MySpace. And, like, we all thought that it was going to be, you know, whatever. And I stopped talking to all those people a long time ago. Like, honestly, social media doesn't tie people together the way people seem to think it does. Social media pits people against each other, but it doesn't really, like, tie people together in the same way. Not the way that people want to believe that it does. You have to still want to stay in contact with someone. Because if not, you will fall out of contact with people. That's just the nature of the world, honestly. Oh, I fucked this one up. Okay. I think I corrected it. There we go. This is MySpace, damn it. Get out. No. I feel like a lot of people stay in contact now. Not really. It's probably one guy who's the firstborn millennial or the firstborn Zoomer. Yeah, I gotta wonder about those firstborn people of a generation. How do they react? How do they feel about how things have changed? Because I bet they identify themselves more as the previous generation as opposed to the current generation they're actually in. I know I would. I wouldn't want to be a millennial if I was born so close to all the Gen Xers and that all the kids older than me were Gen Xers, but that I would technically be a millennial. Although in my case, though, that isn't how it actually was for me. I was one of the older kids in a lot of the places that I lived. But I was never close to any of the Gen Xers, because all of those kids, or well, I say kids, they were all in high school when I was like born. So most of Gen X was just like unrelatable to me. I guess to a degree, that's how a lot of like, to the Zoomers especially, that's probably how it is to a lot of you all. Some of the, especially if you're more deeper into the Zoomer years, a lot of the millennials are just really kind of out of your reach. You know, they don't relate to you all that well, if at all. All right. Man, all that time just to tailor up this one little thing. You're kind of that, Jayhawk? Yeah, I don't blame you. Like, I'm an extreme millennial. I was born in '89, so like I'm not quite in the middle of millennialdom, but like I'm really far away from like the Zoomers and stuff. So I don't know. I relate more to the other people in my generation who are very close to me in age. And I think that's just how it is for everybody. There really isn't, you know, a reason to be super connected to those who are 5 or 6 years, 7, 8, 9 years older than you. Like, that's where you start to really stretch belief. Because someone that far away from you, especially if they're like 10 years older than you, they were already like a really big kid when you were born. And so it becomes a matter of, like, they're going to have a ton of experience when you're only just barely walking. And so, like, it becomes really difficult to relate to people that much older than you. Until you yourself are a 30-something-year-old adult, and you find out that the people who are 40, you know, the people who are only 10 or so years older than you, are, in many ways, like, fellow travelers now. And so you find yourself relating to people who are way older than you when you yourself are already more experienced and older. So actually there may be a meeting up of millennial and Zoomerhood at some point. Because I know a lot of Gen X people ended up like really identifying with their parents by the time they themselves started becoming parents. But I think that's just human nature. That one's unavoidable. Everybody will feel that one eventually. Okay. Ooh, this one only barely stays within the confines of the glass. Did 4chan introduce me to who was Jack? No, I knew who Jack the Ripper was long before 4chan. Jack the Ripper was super, super, super famous for decades prior to any sort of popular media. Just because the idea of the killer that killed and was never caught has always allured people's imagination. That's always given people pause. Because what if another killer could kill and never be caught? But in the modern era, that's never going to happen. There's never going to be a killer in the modern era who can kill without any sort of, like, anything. Without evidence, without surveillance, without some witness, nothing. Yeah, the serial killer age ended in the 90s, exactly. And that's precisely because you have so many people who do not like... Oh, fuck. There being so many... Undo. Anyway, there are so many people who do not like there being so many cold cases, and, like, it's a matter of safety. And also, it's just... Nobody likes a mystery that can never be solved. There are people who like mysteries, but they only like mysteries because they feel they can fix them. Shit, I did it again. A mystery that could never truly be solved would be reviled. Okay, what is the fucking diameter on this thing? I'm tired of playing the guessing game. 1920. Okay. So it's 19. Damn, I was way off. There we go. All right. Now that's what I wanted. Oh yeah, I should probably mark the dead center. Just because I'm a fan of knowing where my dead centers are. What time is it in my time zone? You're in Missouri and it's 8:58. It's 9:05 for me. I don't know how it's only 8:58. It should be 9:05 or something. You should be in the same time zone. I don't know. Am I an only child? No, I have a brother. He and I are pretty close. We had basically the same childhood, so that's not too shocking, really. Each cylinder, obsidian. So what, 20? 144. There we go. I don't want any of that stuff showing through. Oh. Just because it's, I don't know. I might want to, like, carve out some rooms where each cylinder sits. We'll have to see. Oh. There was a lamp there. Let's go from here to, like, here. I'm not sure if I want to have it open all the way. Oh. I did a boo-boo. Does he like the whole idea of 2B2T and all that jazz? I don't think I've ever heard me answer that. I like the idea of 2B2T, yeah. I just wish it was better implemented in the hands of a better admin. Instead of a madman. Or a badman. I want an admin who knows what the fuck they're doing. But also, I would like the ability to, just, like, not have to worry about people getting hold of the server who shouldn't. And, you know, other associated dramas. I would like the peace of mind that some of these exploits that have popped up over the years would actually be fixed and not further enabled. Someone who would be impartial and not, like, put their thumb on the scale for the lulz. Like the old housemaster used to do. Motherfucker. I gotta stop walking and trying to press commands at the same time. So I don't know. It's a bit of a shit show. The odds of any of these things that I want happening are like next to zero. So I'm not under any delusion that they'll ever happen. Oh, and also I just realized I screwed up. I want to see how high I made this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I made it 6 blocks high. Four, 5, 6. There we go. That's a little more in line with this. Something like that. And then I guess I can carve out each individual area. I don't know. Were I part of Space Valk 3? What do you think? Are you asking the builder of Space Valk 3 if he was a part of Space Valk 3? Think quick now. You may or may not be right. Hey, wait a sec. That's... not at all where I thought that would be. You don't know? You just joined the stream. Okay. Do you not know who I am, or do you not know what 2B2T is? Because if so, if you're completely ignorant to all of that, then that's understandable. If you're just unaware of anything, oh fuck. Oh, that was close. I almost took damage. Anyway, if you're unaware of anything 2B2T, Minecraft, etc. related, yeah, that makes sense then. It's a little weird that you just joined stream out of nowhere, but, you know, if you don't know anything, welcome. I am one of the best Minecrafters you'll ever meet. Apparently. Searched up TBD and found this stream. You don't know my name or anything. Ah. Hey, Zayun Lee. How are you? He wasn't part of Space Valk. The original builder actually died of Ligma 29 years ago. God, it's so sad Steve Jobs died of... insert meme here. I really wish that meme, like, didn't exist, by the way. I honestly, like, of all the memes that could be overused, that is one of them. And it's just like, ugh. We'll never move on from Ligma, by the way. There will always be something stupider that just takes its place. And, like... I don't know. I'm tired of it. I'm really genuinely just tired of it. House recently priority banned over 300 people. What? What the fuck? Why? What did they do? Or not do? I don't get it. Who priority bans people like that? Oh my god. How do I continue to work on this project without giving up from lack of motivation or burnout? I just enjoy creating, I guess. As for burnout, I take breaks. I think that's really the only way to avoid burnout. Like, if you do anything creative or artistic, burnout will always be your enemy. And the way to avoid it is to simply just take breaks. As for, like, motivation, this is my magnum opus. I'm not giving up. Remember, I built this place on 2B2T twice. Simply because I was like, no, I'm not giving up. I'm not letting my wondrous, magical creation die. Because people are fickle. Fickle creatures. And so I'm like, no. I'm going to make this thing. I'm going to build it, and it's going to be amazing. They didn't take his warning on the toss? Really? Or are you just fucking with me, Mike? Even Jared is priority banned. Holy shit. Yeah, Valk 3 is 20 to 30. No, Space Valk 3 is 5 years old. It's not quite 20 to 30, but one day it will be. I don't know when that day will be. I mean, I do. You can do math. You can figure out when Space Valk 3 will be 20 years old. But yeah, it's one day. Can you see the entire base? Yeah, I should probably do a big tour. So stick around for the end. I will do a big tour around. There's quite a bit that's happened. If you've never seen, or if you've only seen the 2B2T Space Valk 3, there's a lot that's different from this. For one, it's been 5 years since I began Space Valk 3. And, time is a wild thing. Okay, I feel like there should be another room over in this section. Or is it this section? Yeah, this section. Okay, cool. Anyway. Why is my main hand my left? Because I want it to be. I don't have any other deeper reason than that. I just got used to it, and now I use my left, and that is how it will forever be. Because I am an old man stuck in his ways. And I will never change. Ever. Okay, so this is the outside. Oh, glass. This is a glass layer from the outside. Love my builds on tube. Thank you so much, Zong. Jigung Li? I hope I said that right. I know I didn't, but I'm trying. Oh, you have to leave soon, but you'll be back. Okay, well, just watch the VOD, Legendary. It'll be around. Okay. Let's get all of this glass here. Cool. I hope that didn't, like... No, it didn't. Okay, cool. There to there, that's 6. And... 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. There we go. Just carve out a nice little spot there. I think he was going to stop now since he read the description. Oh. Sometimes there is no deeper meaning to things. Yeah, exactly. Some people haven't yet learned that lesson. Even Sigmund Freud said once upon a time that sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Sometimes thing is just thing and not actually some deep conspiracy or some... Undo. Some deeper... Something of deeper significance. There we go. Not everything in the world has to be super important, much as we may wish for it to be. This is some good piano. Cool. 6. Set air. All right. Now this area down... No? Guess not. There should be a thing... I guess... Yeah, that's right. It wouldn't have caught because of the pattern. Okay. So these bottom two sections are the only ones that don't follow the 3-chamber segment pattern that I've seen start emerging. And then there's in here, which has more glass. Did I quit 2B2T? Yes, I did. Was I on the bad side of Jared at one point, or were we all fine? Jared and I had a very, very up and down relationship for many, many years. He would routinely hate me as much as he possibly could. He would routinely, like, be as mean as he possibly could. And then some days he'd chill out, and he'd be okay. I feel like since I quit 2B2T, he became less of a problem. Oh shit, I'm erasing glass on the outside. And like, Jared's always been that way, is the problem. Jared never really knew any stability. Like, I don't know if he would like me saying this, but he had been abused as a kid. And I hate to say this, but it shows. He also joined 2B2T far, far too early in his life. He was not really ready to handle it. And, yeah, it was a bad time. And he would often act up and use 2B2T as an outlet. But he's always had anger issues, and he gets that from his father. I feel bad for him, man. I really do, because Jared... You know, nobody deserves to be given a terrible shake like that. I've already put a lot of effort in this, not because it's something that benefits you, and because it's fun, because I can. Yeah, exactly. This is like an endeavor that I enjoy making. I want to be able to look back on this and go, wow, I'm really happy and proud of myself that I put so much effort into making Space Valk 3. And that I didn't just let it rot on my hard drive for decades. But that I actually made something of it when I otherwise had every right to quit and give up. But yeah. Looks like a liminal space thing. I can't deny I have taken inspiration from liminal spaces in the past. So like, while some of this architecture may seem a little weird, I want it to feel ethereal and sort of like space-like, but like, I'm also going by rule of cool. I'm not really thinking too hard about it. So if it comes off as liminal space-ish, I'm fine with that. That's perfectly okay for me. Okay. Nice. Have I ever put a lot of effort into something not because it benefits me? Yes, this place. Like I said, Sam, this is a huge thing that I want to look back on this place and be proud in 10 to 15 years and go, yeah, I gave it my all. I could have run scared when the nerds griefed it in 2019. I could have gave up when the Turks found it in 2020. I could have never so much as showed my face streaming it. I could have never done any of that, but I chose to. Because I wanted to. I want to show the world what I'm made of. I want to show the world that I'm not just a man, and that I'm not just a little pile of miserable secrets, or whatever the fucking line is. What is a man but a miserable pile of, or what? A little pile of miserable secrets, that's it. God, that is such a stupid but fun meme. Cubes aren't just shapes, they're a new vision of reality. I guess so. Would I mind if you build this on 2B2T as a copy? Yeah, sure. I don't care. If you want to do it, if you feel you can, you go right ahead. I warn you, you will not be able to. I'm just warning you now that it will be far more than you are likely to achieve. Just because there's so much stuff that you need. I just don't think your average person has the drive, let alone the materials, to make this place. Not as it is. As it was on 2B2T, yeah, that's entirely doable. But how it's become? No. I really don't think so. But for now, whatever. I'll show this place off. Hey, Poncho Hamster. Alt accounts and baritone. Baritone isn't as good at this as you think. And it's probably just... You would need a lot of coordination and a lot of items. Provided you can do all that and nobody will blow the lid on you and you can safely build this place, you know, out in the depths of the end where nobody will disturb you. Maybe. But like, I don't know. That's a lot of ifs, and a lot of things have to go right. And I don't know. I just don't know. In my experience, things only go right for so long on 2B2T. What the frick? Oh shoot, man. So yeah, I think it's pretty big. It's come along quite nicely. Sculler G. Oh, is that you, Sculler? So yeah. Yeah, this place is way bigger than you think. It's 1,075 by 1,075. Hey, Diluted Water, how you been, man? I've been okay. Just doing work and school until summer break kicks in again. Yeah, this place got really dense over the last year or so. Am I a grad student? No. Thank God I'm not doing grad school. Fuck that noise. Ugh. Grad school is the stuff of nightmares. No thank you. Oh. That's filled with water. What was the first building that I built on Space Valk? On stream, it would be this library building over here. This building right in front of me. This was the first thing I did on stream, was this building. I even was doing interiors back then. And I'd like to think it came out pretty well. These doors even close here. I think it's this one? Yeah. Shit, which one is it? I don't oh, it's these. Yeah. But the very first thing that I built on the disc as like an actual different building, like this is before I even started streaming. Let me fly out here and find one. These pylon things right here. They have Heart of the Sea in them, you know, conduit. Gives you conduit power. They stretch all the way down into the disc, the depths of the disc. That was some of the first things that I built, and I just went around and copy-pasted them everywhere. So these were some of the first buildings, and the disc was totally barren back then. And so when I started streaming for the very first time, because I didn't have anything better to do at that point, I was like, hey, I'm going to just start building buildings for my city, and I'll walk you guys through it. And so I just started doing this. And this is what I built. And here we are, 119 episodes later. 1 year later. My faux French accent needs work, but you get the idea. 1 eternity later. I swear, Space Valk 3 will be done someday, guys. Promise. Cross my heart, pinky promise, etc. But, like, you can see why it's taking so long. I hope that at the very least, what you've seen so far really gives you an idea as to why I'm not just throwing it out there, or that there's so much more to do. Like, you see these buildings and how intricate I make some of them. And then, as the area will load in, you see how there's more open space in some of these areas, like between here, over here, there's a lot of open space there. There's some open space here. Little bits and bobs here or there. Like here, there's just a giant bunch of nothing here that could use a building or two. This is obviously what I was working on today. I'll probably still be working on that building Wednesday. There's empty fucking space here, 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 over here. There's just so much empty area that just needs city. And I want it to be dense. I want it to feel jam-packed, like you're walking into a futuristic, I don't know, otherworldly metropolis. And there's just so much more that I can still yet do. If I didn't do more, I would feel bad. So yeah, I think I'll join 2B2T in the far future again. No, not really. The thing about 2B2T is that I won't be able to show you guys anything that I do on there. Anything I make on 2B2T would have to stay private because it would get compromised. Nobody would respect my privacy. Nobody would let me build on stream. I would be harassed. I would be found. There'd be no point. So no, there would just be no point in returning. So at best, I could just join secretly and play on my own, but then you would have no way to know. So that's the way the ball bounces. You just, you take the good with the bad, you know? So I'm sorry, I can't really join 2B2T officially, you know? I mean, the thing of it is, when I say don't ask me, but like, I don't want to be rude to these people because they're just genuinely new. They've not been here. They don't know. They're not looking for a smarmy answer. They're looking for a genuine reason. And if I'm genuine with people, that makes people want to stick around. I don't want to be an asshole and say, hey, fuck you, don't ask me this question again. Like, if you don't know, you genuinely don't know. Even if that's something that I've been asked 50 billion times, like, will you return to 2B2T again? I've been asked that 50 million times. I'm probably going to be asked that 50 million more times. It just is what it is. I may as well suck it up and say, hey, look, read the description. But here's your answer anyway. People who are not here are not here. They're not going to suddenly start being here if I ignore it, you know? Like, it's just one of those things. So yeah, if you want to know, I grew tired of the place. It's not fun to be there anymore. It's lost its interest to me. I also wouldn't be able to show you anything that I do on there. It would have to remain secret, you know? Just is what it is. So yeah, don't sweat it. Single player is safer than 2B2T. Well, I can do more in single player faster than I can on 2B2T. Like, I've only spent 2 episodes making this one building alone. If I had to build this by hand, I wouldn't even be beyond this level where my crosshair is. I would not have risen above this block right here. This block section. So, like, World Edit and Creative Mode just offer so much that 2B2T really cannot capture. As much as I liked 2B2T for what it offered, and for how dynamic it was, yeah, it just wasn't... It wouldn't be the sort of place you could make this base. I don't know. I mean, you can try if you want. More power to you. But as for me, I'm going to keep using creative mode and stuff. Phone died, but you're back. Okay, welcome back, Mike. So yeah, you guys, you know, you get the idea. I do what I do. I'm all right. I'm enjoying this place. I'm going to take my time and I'm going to savor it. Just as I took my time savoring building that. As I gradually began expanding outward. But this place does have a terminus. It does have a good ending. It does have a point where I'm satisfied with what I've made. I'm passionate. Well, thank you for seeing that, Legendary. You're a cool dude, too. And, well, I think that's where I'm going to end it for today. So, yeah. I'm going to keep carrying on. We will do hardcore with Jack tomorrow, and then building with Jack, and all sorts of other fun things. So you all take care. I will catch you all then. Just stay safe. Have a good day. Take care. I will see you when I see you. Bye-bye. Sleep well, yes. Jack Gore with hard, yes. Get here sooner, you cheese lover. What? Oh, Jay. Oh, you're yelling at Jay. I gotcha. Oh, you just joined, didn't you, Jay? Oh, I'm sorry, Jay. Oh, well, you'll have to see the VOD, I guess. Y'all have a good one. Catch y'all later. I already did, Captain. I already did a flyby. You're going to have to watch the VOD.